Welcome back to another episode of the Whiskey Laymen. Today we have Bulleit Rye. And this is our first time doing a rye on this channel. What is a rye? Well, it's a whiskey that has to have at least 51% rye in it.
That makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
So why is it the first time we're doing one?
No, isn't that wrong?
No.
Oh, 51%! Holy shit, man, he was right! Ah! But also, there are rye bourbons, so I'm confused.
Yeah.
Because
It can be a bourbon that's heavy in rye, I'm guessing.
But a bourbon has to be 51% corn, I thought.
It's 110% grain.
How many grain is grain?
110.
About
I
110?
had no idea your phone was in there, Kyle.
I did.
Your phone's been in there before.
So, anyways, rye whiskey. It's got a lot of rye in it. Kyle just touched our feet with his
He
feet.
did.
Um,
Unacceptable.
this is
Gas pedals.
Oh my god. This is
Do we want to start over?
I think this is great. This is perfect.
Wow! Okay.
This is Bulleit.
This
it's
is-
a Kentucky brand.
We're getting Greg territory from How to Drink
I'm a little bit drunk.
for how drunk
You can't name drop people.
we can.
We're just giving free publicity to our tens of subscribers.
Tens.
Yeah.
Tens and tens of subscribers.
Anyways, let's give this a smell because I don't think I've ever actually had a rye.
I love
I've had
ryes.
2 ryes.
I've had 30.
It smells spicy.
I've
It
had-
should.
I've had 2 ryes, and I've liked both of them. This is one of them.
That's right, you've had this.
I have had this, yes.
I am not a fan of Bulleit Rye on itself. It is not rye enough for me. I like a big, we were talking about this earlier. I like a big sandwich feel of rye. Like, I want it to be almost like I'm biting into a piece of rye bread. This isn't enough for me. However, this makes fantastic cocktails, like rye forward cocktails.
Okay.
This stands up to me for like in that rye factor when you're making cocktails, but on itself, not a great sipping rye.
Interesting.
Do you have ryes that you think are good sipping ryes?
Absolutely. Piggyback is great. Lot 40, which you can't get anymore because they've had distribution issues. That was their own fault. Look it up. It's
Another
true.
story.
They screwed themselves over. This on itself, I don't know. It's just lacking to me. Usually, we'll see. I honestly have not tasted this straight in probably 3 years. But I left it alone a while ago because it just wasn't my favorite.
That's fair. And we do know, though, that over time, tastes change.
Exactly.
So what are you getting on the smell, guys?
Rye.
It honestly, yeah, it kind of smells like rye bread. Like
Which
alcohol-soaked rye bread.
yeah,
I'm starting to think I don't know what rye smells like.
smells like that.
You ever had rye bread?
I have it on very specific sandwiches when I go out.
Like Reuben's?
Like on a Reuben, yes. But I don't know if I could, identify this as a rye smell.
There's a lot of flavors going on in a Reuben that are gonna kind of...
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. For me, on the smell, it smells exactly like rye bread. And
Okay.
it's one of my favorite smells. We always get one of those giant rye bread. It has like the rye bread with the dip in the middle, and I always just eat the rye bread around it as I don't like the dip.
Fair.
But
Well, you're wrong, because the dip is good too.
Yeah,
But
dip is amazing.
I'm usually wrong. But this smells exactly like the rye bread from that, which is exactly what I like out of a whiskey
Is
usually.
it gonna taste like the rye bread? Let's find out.
I hope.
Okay.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Okay, it tastes a lot more like rye than I remember.
I'm getting a lot of cinnamon. Am I wrong?
No, that's your tongue. That's your
Is my tongue
flavor.
wrong?
No, it's just how your brain works. I'm getting none cinnamon. It all tastes like rye to me.
None.
Really?
Maybe you think
No cinnamon?
cinnamon tastes like rye.
I see the similarity.
Okay.
Rye is kind of a little spicy. Cinnamon's a little spicy, and not like a hot spicy, like a hat that it has spice, like seasoning.
Okay. Interesting.
It
Huh.
you're not wrong. I think cinnamon is a little bit more peaky. Like the when you're drinking it, it peaks
Like
more.
a sharper taste, kind of.
Yes.
Okay.
This rye is more rounded.
Okay.
And man, I haven't had Bulleit Rye in a while, and honestly, like, it is much better than I remember.
Oh, that's good.
There's a good amount of rye, delicious rye flavor in this.
I'm kind of liking this.
I don't hate it. It reminds me of a very mellow bourbon with a lot of rye bread taste.
I really don't think I know what rye bread tastes like. There might be an episode of me just eating rye bread. I don't know if that's going to be a very popular video, but I kind of feel like I need to do it for myself,
The white and brown bread.
He knows what rye bread is.
I know what rye bread is. I just don't know if I have
I'm
it.
trying to evoke that
Listen,
in you.
I'm getting cinnamon and maybe a tiny bit of either oak or apple-y flavors.
Yeah.
I'm getting a bit of apple.
Okay.
And a little bit of oak, because there's definitely some sort of...
Sure.
This is probably made in virgin oak barrels, like everything is.
Right. A lot of the steps to make a bourbon and a rye are
States.
very similar.
Yeah.
It's
Just the mash bill
how much
content.
corn versus rye
Yeah.
you're going to have is the
But-
big difference. So the real question then is, Mac, would you eat a sandwich with this as the bread? Never mind the logistics of having a liquid as a bread.
I know. I understood the question. I feel like it would burn my gums a bit more than I was expecting a sandwich to. But, you know, I like experiences, so I feel like that's something I would have to try at least once.
Okay.
But you have to figure out the logistics for sure about, you know, liquid bread.
Well,
I
science
like
fiction.
experiences, human man.
Listen, I didn't say I was interesting. I just said that I like things.
Mac is a fan of people, places, and things.
People, places, and things.
Half of those things I don't like.
I'm going to give this a cautious 6. And I say cautious because I'm not sure how I feel about it yet, but I think I like it. I need further research is needed in the form of this
You
bottle.
can research by
I'm
putting
gonna
more into
do
your
some
mouth.
more research right now. Thank you, Kyle. Yes, but
Fascinating.
a cautious 6 from me. How about you?
Let's go to Mac.
Okay.
7.5, potentially higher.
So you also sound like a cautious rating here.
Okay, it's cautious. I've liked this in the past. I've had it a couple times now. This isn't what I recall it tasting like, but this is very good. So, but also I've been told recently, very recently maybe, that
Within
I don't
this
know
video.
what rye tastes like.
Within this video.
I really don't think I know what rye bread tastes like. Listen, this is the best corn I've ever had in my life.
Yeah, it's probably like 49% corn. I'm gonna give this a solid 7. It is better than I remember. It is not my favorite rye. It is damn tasty though.
Wow.
And
It really is tasty.
there is, as long as it's tasty and not boring, like I do not find this boring at all. It has a good rye flavor. There's a few other subtle hints in the flavor that are definitely not cinnamon. But it's good. Like, I much prefer their Bulleit's Rye over their straight up bourbon.
Interesting.
Which we have tried on this channel, actually, way back, one of our first videos.
Probably one of our bad videos now.
Probably have to revisit that at some point.
I remember liking Bulleit though.
Yeah.
Also cinnamony, as I recall. Maybe I just think everything is cinnamon.
There's a good chance there's some rye in that, because there's a decent amount of rye that goes into bourbon.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
There's corn and rye. There's going to be rye and bourbon kind
Yeah.
of thing. Yeah. I think that the biggest lesson from this video, though, that Kyle has exemplified here is it's important to go back and taste whiskeys
Yeah.
again and again, because you may find that you really like one you didn't like before, or vice versa.